Hey everyone, it's Carissa at Sprinkled with Glitter. Thanks for joining me today. Today I wanted to give you a look at the brand new Gemini foil press from Crafter's Companion. This is my top pick from Creativation 2019. It is a craft and hobby trade show that I visit every year, and I get to see all the new products that are coming out, and this was my favorite. So I wanted to kind of do an unboxing with you, show you what's included, and show you the basics of this tool. I'm not going to actually make a project today. I just kind of wanted to walk you through the basics. So this is what it looks like when you take it out of the shipping box. Comes in a really nice box. I know y'all don't care about the box, but I wanted to show you exactly how it comes. Now this tool will give you a pressed or like a letter pressed foiled effect, which I think is so cool. And it does come with all the plates that you need to get started. Now this machine is compatible with the Gemini Junior and the full-size Gemini. It is not compatible with other die cut machines, so keep that in mind. But if you are a Gemini user and lover like I am, then this is the tool for you, and it has some great features as well. Now it comes with the metal shim there on the left, the top plate that's there in the middle, and then an instruction manual, because we all need an instruction manual from time to time. I did refer to it as I was making the video, but I have to tell you, as I got going, and just like with anything, once you've done it a couple of times, it's really easy to do. Now here's a look at the platform and the machine itself. It's really lightweight. It does come with a small roll of gold foil to get you started. This is paper crafting foil. There are a couple of different kinds of foil available, but for the most part, paper crafters are going to be using that paper crafting foil. It comes with some silicone finger grips to protect your fingers from getting burned, because this tool does use heat to apply foil to your project. It comes with a silicone cooling mat where you can place your plates to cool after you're done with them. And it does come with a couple foil stamps and foil stamp and cut dies. Now, there are dies that foil and cut, like this one here, this frame. It has a cut edge as well as the area that presses the foil into the cardstock. And it has a darker gray color. And these lighter ones, these are just foil stamps. So these will not do any cutting. They're just going to press foil onto your cardstock. Now there's some magnetic tweezers included that'll help you get the hot plates off of your platform when you're working with them, or place it onto the platform as you're working. And it comes with, of course, I say of course, but I don't know any tools that don't come with the power cord, but it comes with the power cord. I'm going to make sure it's plugged in, and I'm going to turn it on the side, and then I'm going to hit the power button to turn it on to the lowest heat here. Now this machine has a built-in timer. It has 3 different heat settings. It has 9 points of heat across the entire platform so that you get a smooth heating surface. And those higher temperature settings are going to be for things like faux leather and fabric and things like that. For paper crafting, you're going to use that lowest setting there, which I have it on now. Now I'm going to wait for this to heat up, and it's going to turn green. The light by the heat setting will turn green when it's ready to go, and it will beep. It has an audible beep, so I know when it's ready to go. And while this is heating up, I thought I would give you a look at the variety of foils that are available. It'll take about 3 minutes or so for it to heat up completely. These are 3 of my favorites. It's the gold, and then there's like a silver holographic, and then like a gold glitter foil. Now these are thermal foils. They are not transfer foils. In the past, when you use things like the mink and toner reactive foil, those are transfer foils. These are actually thermal foils. So your ThermoWeb deco foil, that's not going to work with this machine. You do need thermal foils. Now this Aurora one is super cool. It's got like a holographic effect, and I think it's so much fun. But I did want to show you a couple of differences here. This is the multi-surface foil here on the left, and it has a craft colored core. This multi-surface foil is for things like faux leather, and it requires a higher temperature in order to set it. The one on the right with the white like roll in the middle, that is the paper crafting foil, and that's the one that you're going to use with the lowest setting, and you're probably going to use it more often than not if you're a paper crafter. But there are two different kinds of foils, so when you're looking at the foils, make sure if you're using it on paper that you use the paper crafting foil, not the multi-surface foil. The multi-surface foil, like I said, requires a higher heat, and that's too much heat for the paper. You don't want to burn anything down, okay? So let's get to foiling here. I have this beautiful floral background plate, and I've laid it onto my platform with the press or stamped image face up. Then I'm cutting down a piece of my foil, and I'm laying it with the pretty side face towards the stamped image, because you got to think about that's going to be what you're going to see when you remove everything. And then I have some Tim Holtz watercolor cardstock on top of that, and I'm going to take the top plate that comes with the system, and I'm going to place it on top to build my sandwich. Now, when I've set my timer for about 15 seconds, I allowed that to sit on there and get warm for about 15 seconds, put on my top plate, and I pulled it straight from the machine and ran it through my Gemini Junior. And this is what I am left with. This cardstock has a very definitive pressed in look to it already. You can see that that foil is kind of pressed into the cardstock. And when I remove the foil, you can see I have a beautiful foiled image here. And I love the intricate details and the fine lines on this stamp plate here. It's so beautiful. And with that glittery gold foil, it just shines like you would not believe. Now, I wish you could kind of experience this in real life, because it has that letterpress look where it's actually pressed into the cardstock, and it is so beautiful, and it gives a great texture. Now, I'm going to remove this plate, and I'm using these magnetic tweezers here, and I'm setting it on that silicone mat to cool. And I'm going to bring in the metal shim that comes with the foil press, and I'm going to engage my platform again. You can see it's red. When it's ready to go, it will turn green. And I am laying that piece of foil that I just removed from my previous pressed image onto that metal plate. I'm adding a piece of Tim Holtz watercolor cardstock on top of that. And then I'm going to use 2 layers of cardstock as a shim on top of that. I am going to use this piece of foil, this leftover negative piece of foil, and I'm going to apply it to another piece of cardstock to give me the reverse image of this. So I'm using the leftover piece. So I have the metal plate on top of my foil press platform. I have the foil. I have a piece of Tim Holtz watercolor cardstock. I have 2 Neenah Solar White heavyweight cardstock shims. I have my metal shim from my cutting sandwich, and then I have my top plate. And you can see when I run it through my Gemini Junior with that heat and pressure, this piece of negative foil is applied to the cardstock. Now, you can do this with a plain piece of foil and make your very own full foiled cardstock. So if it didn't already have it pressed out of there, if I would have just used a plain piece of foil, I could have created an entire sheet of foiled cardstock. Now, in addition to the regular foil stamps that the Gemini Junior or the Crafter's Companion offers, they have these Stamp and Cut foil dies. This creates not only that pressed effect with the foil, but also an outer cut line. So in order to use these, you're also going to use that metal shim that comes with the foil press platform. So I have the metal shim down, I have my Stamp and Cut die, I have my foil, my cardstock, and then my top plate. And I'm going to run that through my Gemini Junior, and I am going to remove the excess foil and pop this out because it is a die cut. Then I'm going to remove the foil once again, and you're going to see where that's pressed into the cardstock. Now today I'm using the Tim Holtz watercolor cardstock. It's a little thicker cardstock so that I get a little deeper impression, but you can use regular cardstock for this as well. You can use any color of cardstock. This would also look really beautiful with some of the Essentials by Ellen letterpress cardstock, which is a really kind of thick and cottony paper, and it will give you a really nice, really pressed in debossed effect. Now I'm just showing you once again how you can use that negative image to apply that to cardstock as well. This will not give you any sort of debossing. It's not going to press into the paper, but the foil will transfer to the cardstock. So it gives you a completely different look. So you can get like two things out of everything that you foil because you can use both the positive and the negative. And I think it's such a cool effect. Now, I also wanted to mention that while we were at Creativation, I saw this work on ribbon. It works on fabric and cork and wood surfaces. I haven't experimented with any of those yet, and I'm imagining that the heat settings and that multi-surface foil would come into play, but I kind of wanted to give you a look at the different things that I'm achieving here. Now, here's a polka dot background. I think this is really cool with that holographic silver foil, and I am so amazed at this machine because really every time I'm getting really great results. Now I did want to mention that on this platform there are 9 points of heat. So you get nice even heating across the entire platform. So no matter where you place your stamping plate or your die, you're going to get great results. And I know you guys are going to ask this, so I'm just going to show you right away. You can use this with your wafer thin dies, and I'm going to do the same exact setup that I did with the original stamp plate that I showed you. So I have my platform there, it's heating up. I have my wafer thin die, and I have the foil and my cardstock and my top plate, and I'm just giving it about 15 seconds. I have that timer there. It's going to give me an audible beep when the timer's done, and then I can take this and run this through my Gemini Junior. Now, I do want to caution you that you do want to be careful because this does get hot. They have provided the silicone finger grips, so please use those to avoid burning yourself. I know I'm not doing it here. I am a bad girl and do not follow my example, okay? Okay. So now that we have safety precautions out of the way, I wanted to show you that I foiled and cut this butterfly from acetate as well. It worked like an absolute dream, and can you imagine this, you guys? Doing this on clear cellophane goodie bags or on clear card boxes, it would be absolutely beautiful. Now here's a look at the 2 butterflies that I created, one out of acetate and one out of cardstock. Can you imagine those done with 2 different colors of foil and then adding some watercolor to that cardstock butterfly? It would be absolutely gorgeous. And I can't tell you how much I'm loving this machine, how much I'm loving the results, and how much fun I'm having playing and experimenting with it. Now, one final tip I want to give you is that this platform is subjected to heat and pressure, and you might find that it's starting to warp. But I have the remedy for you. They showed me this at the Crafter's Companion booth. You're going to take this and engage the plate into the heating element and heat this up to full heat. So wait till it turns green. Then take it out of that heating element and place your Gemini Junior or your machine on top of it and let it cool like that. That's going to take the warping out of your plate and allow you to continue to use it over and over again. Now, I do want to mention those plates, that platform is replaceable. So if it gets warped to the point that you cannot save it, then you can replace it. But if you do this when you're done every night, you apply that heat and then leave your machine on top of it to cool, you should be good to go for a good long time. So there you have it, a quick introduction and how-to on the new Crafter's Companion Gemini foil press. I'm loving this machine. Thanks for stopping by and watching today. As always, I will have links to the featured supplies in the description at YouTube, so be sure to check that out. And head on over to my blog at sprinkledwithglitter.com. I'll have the coordinating blog posts linked below. Over there, you can find more still shots, more information, and a complete list of supplies. Thanks for stopping by and hanging out with me today. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notifications so you don't miss future card making and paper crafting video tutorials. As always, thanks for watching, and until next time, I hope you have a fabulous day.